Hello, and welcome to Beyond American Shores, where Japanese toys are seen and heard. Well, today we've got a really big Ranger Key set today. I mean, this is basically 3 Ranger Key sets in one. I mean, that's really big. We got lots to look at and little time to do it. So, let's take a look at Ranger Key Set SP from Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger! Okay, so the package for the Ranger Key Set SP is pretty simple. On the front of the box, you see all the Ranger Keys in 2 rows. And you notice that instead of Gokaiger on the front, you actually see Spade Ace. Once you take the Ranger Keys out, you notice all the symbols from the different teams that are going to be in the set. On the back, it's basically the same thing as the other Ranger Key sets. First up is Spade Ace from Jakka Dengektai, and actually, this one actually looks not bad. The detail is mostly there. One thing that I basically wanted to see on this is basically an outline across the spade on the helmet. But other than that, it actually looks pretty nice. So now let's take a look at the sounds. Next up is Denji Red from Denshi Sentai Denji Man, and this one actually looks not bad. The detail is almost there. It could have used a little more paint on the helmet. I mean, you could actually see like little spots that could use painting, basically around the giant circle on his forehead. And it could have also used a yellow outline around the visor. But other than that, it looks okay. Now let's take a look at the sound. Next up is Goggle Red from Dai Sentai Goggle 5. This one actually looks pretty good. The detail is mostly there. One thing that I want to see on this one is that basically the helmet itself has got like this really cool looking design across the gold parts of the helmet. I would want to see more of that. But other than that, it still looks pretty good. So let's take a look at the sounds. Next up is Dynared from Kakaku Sentai Dynaman. This is the team that brought us the colored explosions that are seen all across Super Sentai to this day. And you know what? This key actually looks very spot on to the suit design. Actually looks really cool. So let's take a look at the sounds. Next up is Red One from Chodenshi Bioman. Now this key is spot on to its suit design and it actually looks really cool. Fun fact about this one, Bioman has been seen in the Philippines and surprisingly dubbed in English, in France, also known as Bioman, which also spawned 2 sequels, Bioman, which we know as Mask Man, and Bioman 3, which we know as Live Man. It was also seen in Thailand. Even Saban wanted to make a dub of Bioman here in the States. Isn't that pretty cool? So let's take a look at the sound.
Bioman! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bioman!
Next up is Change Dragon from Dengeki Sentai Changeman, and this is one of the weaker keys of the set. I mean, it looks like they didn't even try. The body looks like it seems to be fine, but the helmet itself looks like it's missing so much paint. I mean, it just looks really unfinished. Now let's take a look at the sounds. Next up is Red Flash from Choshinsei Flashman, and actually this is one of the better looking keys. I mean, there's a lot of detail that they put into this one, and it seems very accurate to the suit design. All it needs is just a little bit of outlining across the helmet and a little bit underneath the neck. But other than that, it actually looks pretty good. So let's take a look at the sounds. Time for some aura power, as we've got Red Mask from Hikari Sentai Maskman. And actually, this looks pretty spot on to its suit design. I actually think this actually looks like a pretty good key. I mean, there's not really much to say. It just looks really, really good. So let's take a look at the sounds. Next up is Red Falcon from Choju Sentai Liveman, and actually this looks great. This is a very spot-on key. It's got a lot of outlining there and actually looks really, really good. The molding is there, the detail is there, and it overall looks like an awesome key. So let's take a look at the sounds. Next up is Red Turbo from Kosoku Sentai Turbo Ranger. This actually looks not bad. The visor on the helmet kind of seems a bit small though. Other than that, it's just missing a little yellow outline around the body of Red Turbo. So this one actually is an okay looking key. Now let's take a look at the sounds. Next up is 5 Red from Chikyu Sentai 5-Man. This one actually does look pretty good. It's almost spot on to its suit design. The only thing it's missing is an outline around the visor. Other than that, it's actually pretty good. Fun fact, 5-Man was the first all-sibling team in Super Sentai. So basically, all the 5-Man are in the same family. Now isn't that pretty cool? So let's take a look at the sound. Next up is Red Hawk from Chojin Sentai Jetman. Now this key is a personal favorite of mine, because it actually looks really cool in my opinion. The detail is almost there. It's got almost everything down except for the chest. It's also missing some yellow paint that's supposed to be in the shape of a bird. Other than that, it looks really cool. Now let's take a look at the sounds. Next up is O-Red from Choriki Sentai O-Ranger, otherwise known as the Red Zeo Ranger from Power Rangers Zeo. Now this one actually looks okay. It basically has the detail that it needs, however it could have gotten a little more. There could have been a white outline around the star, and if they wanted to go the whole 9 yards, they could have had that cool looking design that's on the chest. But other than that, this is actually an okay looking key. So let's take a look at the sounds. Next up is Megared from Denji Sentai Mega Ranger, otherwise known as the Red Space Ranger from Power Rangers in Space. Now this one almost had it. It's got most of the detail there, however it's missing one big thing. Those 5 colored squares that would be in that white line on the chest. They almost had it perfect, but they just missed the mark. Other than that, this one is an okay looking key. So let's take a look at the sounds. And finally, we have Time Red from Mirai Sentai Time Ranger, otherwise known as the Red Time Force Ranger from Power Rangers Time Force. Now, this one actually looks pretty good. It does have most of the detail there, however, it's only missing the white outline around the visor. Other than that, it actually does look pretty good. So, let's take a look at the sounds. This key set is awesome. For the price that it is, it's well worth it. You basically get the remaining Red Rangers that you're looking for. Well, except for Ninja Red, but that comes with the Gokaiger treasure box. But other than that, this is a really big Ranger key set that, if you're trying to collect them all, this is probably one of your best bets. Final verdict on the Ranger key set SP, I give it a good. Now, you've probably seen me review the past Red Rangers, but what about the future? That's right, I've got a Ranger key from the future Super Sentai series, or actually current Super Sentai series, Tokume Sentai Go Busters! So let's morph in and let's take a look at the key. Here we have Red Buster from Tokume Sentai Go Busters, the Super Sentai series of 2012. This key actually looks perfect. This is a very spot-on Ranger key. The molding is there, the detail is all there. It actually looks really, really good. This key can be found in various ways. It can be found in Candy Toy, Gashapon, in Ranger Key Set Go Busters, and also with the Go Busters CD, which is how I got it. This is actually a very good key. So let's take a look at the sounds. Well, that's it for today's episode. So you're probably wondering, will I review more Ranger key sets? Maybe. But when the time comes, I will be ready. Anyways, I'm the Tokuto Reviewer, and see you guys on the next Beyond American Shores. Reviewer out!